walkthrough, I'm going to do hand-leg opposite glides, and I am absolutely terrible at hand-leg opposite glides, so it's one that I need to do more often. Typically, and this is what I'm going to teach today, this is taught from a prone position, laying face down position. But if prone doesn't suit you, or if you just fancy a change, you can also do this supine. The rules of it are pretty much the same, but your body is just in a different position as you do it. So what we are going to do is we are going to lay prone, and we're really going to stretch ourselves long here. So we're trying to create as much length as possible between our fingers and our toes. Please keep your head down. So I want your hairline to be on the floor, but my head's going to be up because I just want to be able to point my voice towards the microphone. So keep your head down. We want your head and your neck relaxed. As with any posture exercise, you also want to keep your breathing relaxed as well. So I want you to maintain that calm, deep, quiet nasal breath in and out of the nose and into the lower rib cage. We're going to turn our hands into fins. So we're going to pinch our fingers and our thumbs together. We're going to point our toes. We might notice that by pointing our toes and lowering the tops of our feet down towards the floor, that we get cramp in the arches of our feet. And that is wonderful because it means that we're switching on the arches of our feet. What we don't want is the kneecaps lifting. So if the kneecaps lifting, you're compensating with your knees by hyperextending them rather than getting this plantar flexion of the feet. So you're aiming for sensations around your feet by pointing your toes. You don't want the knees buckling backwards into compensation. And what we're going to do here is a drawing forwards of our left arm as we pull back and down into the shoulder through our right arm. So the left arm moves forwards and slides along the floor, whilst the right arm draws backwards, and we pull that right shoulder blade into the middle of our back. And you'll hopefully notice those mid-back muscles kind of switching on as you do that. As the left arm draws forwards and the right hip, and the right shoulder moves backwards, the right hip is going to lift up towards your waist. So by lifting up, what I mean is not twisting off the floor. Your hips are not rotating off the floor. There's no air between your hips and the floor. You're sliding the hip so that it crunches into the side of your waist. So what's happening now is my right toes are closer to my body than my left toes. And as that left arm draws away, the left leg draws away. So I'm really stretching out the side of my left body, and I'm crunching up the right side of my body. So the space between my right shoulder and my right hip is in contraction, and I'm feeling like crampiness kind of going on around the rib cage, the side body, and into the kind of lower back here. And then what we do is we swap round. So we slide the hands and the legs at the same time along the floor. I pull my left shoulder down into the middle of the back at the same time as I crunch my left hip up towards my waist, trying to get that activation in the left side body, the side of the pelvis, the lower back, to wake it up while I stretch off the right hand side. As I'm doing this, and keep moving through it for me, as I'm doing this, I'm feeling how much more able I am on this right hand side. So as I draw that right shoulder back towards me and the hip up, it's so easy and fluid. And as I move towards the left hand side, I really want to lift my left hip off the floor. So I'm trying to compensate with pelvic rotation rather than get this lateral kind of flexion of the spine and pelvic elevation. So if you were in a standing position, pelvic elevation would look like having one hip higher than the other. And that's what we're doing here. So we're really working these like side body muscles. I'm not surprised by this because I know that I'm not very good at this one. And I know that my left side is worse, but it's always so useful to have this inability, this lack of function kind of highlighted to you. So it's like my left shoulder doesn't really understand what it's doing. My left hip wants to rotate. It feels so clunky and awkward. Keep breathing. Keep your hands in those pointed fins. Keep your feet pointed away, trying to get them cramping. We're still trying to create as much length through the body as possible. We're making sure that the pelvis is not rotating off the floor here. And it's also making sure that the rib cage is not rotating off the floor here. So I want you to imagine that you're stuck between two panes of glass. You can't move towards the floor more, but you also can't move up towards the ceiling more. We're doing a funny little side to side like wiggle, like a little wiggly worm. We're really trying hard to keep both of our elbows straight as we do it. So the movement is coming from the side body and like the side of the pelvis and the lower back. But I'm having to bend my elbow slightly on that left side just to help me do it. Like I'm aware of the compensation, but by bending my elbow slightly, it just helps me get a little bit more into my mid-back. So until my left mid-back becomes more functional, I don't mind that little bit of compensation because I know I'm still feeling it properly. Like my left hip is no longer trying to come off the floor. And as I'm in that left-hand side, I can feel the left shoulder drawing down. It's kind of cramping in my mid-back. I can feel the sides of my left pelvis and the side of my left lower back cramping. I'm actually just going to hold this here so that my brain understands that movement. Breathing into it. The more I feel that, the more I kind of stay here, it's cramping more. So I'm going to see if my shoulder can go into it a little bit more. See if I can hike that left hip up a little bit more without lifting the hip off the floor. My left leg is wobbling away as I do this. So this is a really important nook and cranny for me. And I am somebody who typically has tension in my right rib cage because I'm contracted on that right hand side. So by contracting my left hand side more, making the left hand side more functional, I'm relieving that tension from the opposite side. So this is hand leg opposite glides. You're supposed to do reps like we were there, but I think it's really, really valuable as you move through those reps to spend time contracting into that side that feels less functional. I think it's really useful for your brain to understand what the movement feels like. It's obviously also excellent for your muscles to just really go into cramp and really get that like kickstart that they need. The more cramping you get, the more the muscles are switching on, and then the easier it will be the next time that you do it. Of course, when you get cramp, you might just need to have a break for a few seconds, but go back into it because any exercise that gives you cramp in new places is an exercise that is switching on muscles that don't often work very well or much, and that is how we rewire our movement patterns. That's how we change the position of our bones, and that's how we change our posture and our pain. So that was hand leg opposite glides. You can do it on your front or your back, and I'll see you again soon.